All right, welcome back everybody to the SeahawkTalk channel. Today we got kind of a new show going on. Trying to do at least once a month or something.
Yeah, whenever things get a little hectic in the sports scene, I'm there.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is Walker Garland, local Seattle sports fan.
Yep.
Sadly, a fan of the Mariners as well as the Seattle football teams.
Very.
So, yeah, I guess you guys know a lot about me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you're a fan of, what's your favorite things to talk about?
I love football, Seattle football in general, college ball, MLB, really all of it. I enjoy all the little things, all the statistics, and every little ounce of it.
Yeah, how do you feel that most college teams have spent more than the Mariners so far this offseason?
Yeah, it's looking like Alabama's going to have like $200 million in the payroll after what I just heard on the radio today. So that is pretty discouraging.
Yeah, no, I think colleges are allowed to spend $20 million, and the Mariners are not capped at that number, believe it or not.
No, they're not.
They have they signed anybody? Just real quick before we get started.
No one.
That's what I thought. It'd be a hard time.
All the free agents look like they're going to be going elsewhere. I don't really want to trade Castillo for a bat.
I don't either.
Not break up the best rotation in baseball.
Yeah, except that guy from Japan, right?
Roki, the pitcher, 23-year-old flamethrower.
So that's what I mean. They might try to get him, but the problem is they're trying to. God, we're leading it off with the worst possible team to talk about. So I apologize.
It's depressing. 100 days, or 99 now till opening day, and it's depressing being an Nims fan.
Yeah, if we have time, we'll talk about them in a little bit.
Yeah.
How about that? Let's just get started. Obviously, you're from the area, so you've been a Seahawks fan basically by birth, Huskies fan by birth, Sonics fan, I guess, kind of.
Even though I never actually watched them that much when I was young. My father has a very, very hard take on it, and it is quite brutal.
All right. But yeah, I guess, sweet. Well, let's just kind of get into some news. I know you like sports betting, as we all do. Some are better than others. I'm one that bets with my heart, which is the worst possible thing to do.
I do that as well a little bit.
So we'll get into that a little bit today. I don't know why I led off with that. Let's get into the Seahawks first.
Yeah.
Get the negative stuff out of the way.
And there's some negative with that too.
How about Okay, I'll just lead it with this. I'll give you the backstory.
Okay.
So as you know, I go to every game. I have season tickets.
Yep.
And I was weary going into the game to begin with. I think I told you texted me about our offensive line looking better. I'm like, Arizona might just suck. And
yeah,
I think they suck.
I think they do too. I think they're going downhill quick.
Our offensive line might be the most dog shit offensive line I've ever seen in my fucking life. And that's saying a lot because I've been a Seahawks fan for a long time.
You watch any play, and it's center to tackles, and they're 5 yards deep in Geno's face every play. I mean, none of them can get off the line. It is brutal.
Yeah, it's something else. I think it didn't help starting off with the Packers going down the field the first two drives and literally doing whatever they wanted. Starting 14-0.
Yeah.
You couldn't and then our mindset changed when we were down 14-0. It was like pass the ball, but then incompletions and we punt. And then we're gonna make the defense start to step up. Really, I mean
they played a good
second
half. I think 130 something yards.
Yeah, total. And I think they allowed a touchdown in the second half because I think that it was 23-10 at one point.
Yes.
But even when it was 23-10, I was like, this is not a possibility that we're going to win this game.
No.
So yeah, that was I asked my co-host on Seahawks Coast to Coast last night, when was the moment you lost faith in the Seahawks last week? Because mine was when we went down 14-0 and then punted the ball. And I was like, it's going to be 21-0, no doubt, but it wasn't. So when was yours?
That is a really good question because we started off so slow. I mean, so slow.
Not even slow, backwards.
It was almost like we had no juice coming into that game. We were not ready for Friday night lights. I mean, we weren't ready. I like Charbonnet, I do, and Geno, but when Geno goes down, it's bad. It's bad news. We've seen what Sam Howell looks like. I really don't think any other QB in the league would even look good with our league, but Gino somehow makes it manageable. Yeah, with our line. It's just if Gino's not in the game, we're gonna lose.
That's what. So that, I was getting into that. But no, so my friend Kyle, he's come on the show before. So we were texting Monday. No, sorry, we were on the phone Monday, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, so it's weird, being at the game, especially when injuries happen. Like, you just kind of like see a guy down on the field, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And then when Gino went down, he was walking to the sideline and then went down and got hurt.
Really?
And that's what Kyle goes. So Kyle said the same thing.
Yeah.
He goes, no, he just stayed down the whole time. And I go, part of me, I was like, I didn't really drink a lot during the game. I was like, am I going fucking insane right now? Was he not walking off the field? So I found a clip, and he was limping, and then he fell down.
Okay. Yeah, because on the TV, on the broadcast, it just showed him straight down.
Yeah, so anyways, he walks up, goes down, and then I'm like, oh, shit, that's not good. You see number 7 down. I mean, not saying that I don't want to see DK Metcalf. I'd rather see number 14, 11, 16. Gino has kind of turned himself into such a leader now, too, to where it's not even just like the quarterback went down. It's like the heart of the team went down.
Yeah.
And then you look over, I think it was in the third quarter he got hurt, right? So you look over and he's coming out of the locker room and he's just limping. And I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. Because how, when they brought him in, and I love Ryan Grubb, but
I do too.
But he fucked up. When they brought in Sam Howell, I swear they didn't try to run the ball at all. They were still trying to play catch up, and you can't do that with him.
No, and also did he start off going 2 for 2? Did he complete his first 2? Or
no? I think they were 0 for 2. Yeah.
Well, he completed 2 in a row at one point and looked like he was kind of on the move, and then if you just watch his footwork, looked so sloppy.
Did you see his stats?
Yeah. I know he put up something where like only 25 players in the NFL have done.
I'm going to bring him up really quick.
And it's really bad. But I also did see Peyton Manning on that list when I was looking at it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to compare that whatsoever. Sam Howell's footwork looked sloppy. I mean, and I don't know if that's him or if it's our O-line being in his face the minute we snap the ball. But maybe he wasn't prepared as well. I don't want to throw him down too much, but I'm worried. I'm worried with him. I am.
So everybody brings up his passing yards last year. He threw for a lot of yards. He was also the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, and he threw the most interceptions in the NFL. And then 2 bad stats. People bring up when he came here last year, he threw for, I think, 400 yards, pretty close to it. It was 300 something, if not 400. And I brought up the stats last night on the Seahawks Coast to Coast podcast. The 2 leading receivers that game were Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson Jr. And they accounted for 200 yards of those stats because they all came off screens. That's kind of what he is. That's kind of how he collects his yards. Last night, or Sunday night, he went 5 for 14, 24 yards. So he was sacked 4 times for 21 yards. So we had a net positive of 3 yards in the game.
And he played a whole 4th quarter.
most of the third, I think. I could be mistaken.
He seen the ball a lot during that game.
And, Kyle brought up a good point when I was talking to him the other day. He said, it seemed like Hal ran when he should have passed and passed when he should have ran. And I didn't disagree with him one bit, but the problem was his passes, like he said, he should pass ran when he should have passed. That was one of the most inaccurate performances I've seen all.
Absolutely. That's all he was trying to get to. That interception he threw, was that to DK?
I don't remember, but I want to say
a tight end, but I don't know what he was looking at. That dude was like triple covered with a high safety. It was unbelievable.
I want to bring up something that, once again, not my words, the friend that I took to the game.
Yep.
I go, Gino's interception was pretty fucking bad. It actually looked better on TV than it did in person, because I was sitting in the end zone right where it happened.
Okay.
And
it still looked pretty bad.
No, I saw it on TV, but in person, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But
no.
Once I saw it on TV, I saw that he thought the corner was crashing down.
There was a little,
So, anyways, It's like Sam Howell was like, Gino, hold my beer. I'll show you how to throw an interception.
He did. He one-upped them there. He absolutely one-upped them there.
Any complaints in the game other than obviously the atrocious offensive line play? First half of the defense, it's like they came out just flat, and that's kind of irritating.
You're at home, it's biggest stage. You're going against Green Bay. We play them tough every time.
Mm-hmm.
They came out and kicked their ass that first half, and
the second half
they
stayed up. They stayed up. They stayed up in the game. It's not like we ever really came back.
No, and I had a little bit of hope when we got that field goal, but it was just bad. But no, Green Bay, I mean, they made a statement that game. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs looked incredible.
Like he did last time against us.
I think Jordan Love is a really solid QB. If he can stay healthy, I think Green Bay is a contender every year with him.
Yeah, for sure. Why wouldn't they be? Because they only have franchise quarterbacks since 1992.
That's for sure.
So, anything else you want to talk about this last game before we kind of move on to the next game? We'll probably get to some parts of the last game talking about next game. Yeah. But is there anybody you want to harp on? You said Tariq Woolen said something today?
Yeah, I believe Tariq Woolen said something that he's tired of the media, tired of hearing his name. And frankly, I think he needs to play better.
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
He just has no emotion. He has no – I mean, you seen Julian Love the other day
bitching him out
on his ass. I mean, you should be – there's other guys out there that want to play.
Well, that's what's weird about Woolen is I don't – go ahead.
I just think he needs – I don't know what it is. I think Coach McDonald's going to do the best thing for him. But it's like when Pete put him on the bench last year, he came out and played better. I don't know if that's what it is or what his deal is, but
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either, especially, I mean, there's a big matchup this week. He needs to play like his rookie year and be dominant.
Well, and he's still as physically gifted as his rookie year. And you don't even see flashes on most of the season. He's been pretty solid.
He's been really solid. It's just
that last game. Times. Yeah. And then, but I didn't even hear him call out the media, but
yeah, I'd like to actually pull it up and see what he said, but
no, go ahead. We have time.
Something along the lines of not giving a shit anymore.
Yeah, no, but that's one thing that's weird about Woolen. Like you said, no emotion. A lot of cornerbacks, like Devin Witherspoon played with emotion. Even Shaquille Griffin a little bit played with emotion. Those lockdown corners, dude. Man. You know, the other one that I can actually kind of think of that didn't play with a lot of emotion was Revis. I don't think Darrelle Revis really played with a lot of intensity.
I don't really have anything to say on that because I don't really remember watching Revis play all that much.
He wasn't in your ear talking shit the whole time.
Quarterbacks like being a little feisty. They want to be in your ass.
You know Hugh Millen. He said, when I have a cornerback on my team, I want him pulling up in the parking lot with the biggest rims on his car. I want him coming out wearing the shiniest clothes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we want in a cornerback. But
be a superstar.
That's not Tariq Woolen.
That's not no, that is not
he's quiet. That's fine. Honestly, that's fine with me. But yeah, when you see, it's like Jay Cutler. When you see a player that doesn't, they look like they don't give a shit, you assume they don't give a shit. Yeah. But really, especially if he's coming out saying something like what you're about to say.
Yeah,
he does.
This is from Greg Bell, and he goes, "I don't give a shit anymore. I really don't care. I mean, when you do good, they're going to love you. When you do bad, they're going to talk about you." And he's exactly right. He's exactly right. And
it's true.
It's true. I mean, you can't come out flat every game when you are the starting cornerback. With such a legacy of the Seahawks having great cornerbacks, you need to be a great cornerback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what he looked like to be.
And this is I think he still is.
I do too. And I'm not putting him down whatsoever. I'm trying not to. It might sound like I am. But I want him to come out and be like Spoon.
Energetic.
But
that's just not him. That's not him. That's what I mean. It's never going to be him.
Nope.
And there's certain players that are like that, and that's fine. But, you know, I don't know. It doesn't, because I heard a couple things this week about it not being, him not being like that. And I was like, you know, if that's your personality, that's your personality.
Yeah.
Anything else from last week? Any thorns?
No thorns. Special teams look better. And that had to happen, by the way. That had to happen. No thorns. Hopefully Gino's feeling better today.
He is. That's what I wanted to bring up. I can't fucking believe it, but he was a full participant today in today's practice.
Full participant? Wow.
Yeah. I had it, let me pull it back up. Sorry, guys, I realize it's a lot of pulling up here. But, yeah, Geno Smith was a full participant just 3 days after a knee injury, which I didn't even look like a knee injury. It looked more like an ankle.
To you?
Yeah.
And also, Geno, we need to not be jumping that ball. That's 15-yard penalty right there.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
He's jumping, trying to get out of the fucking way.
I'm well aware.
Yeah, and I didn't realize I was there. So, like, I was like, you see so many different things on television than you do when you're there.
Yep.
For the better or for worse. For better or for worse, right? And that's one of the things that I was just like, oh, I don't care. There was a bullshit challenge call, though, during that game. I think it was LaFleur, a backwards pass.
No, it was Sam Howell's batted down ball, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, and then Zach Charbonnet did not participate in today's practice with an oblique injury, so that's something to look at.
Our running backs in their obliques.
But I guess Mike McDonald has an optimistic view of Kenneth Walker. DK Metcalf didn't practice with his shoulder, but he's been on the list every week for like the past 10 weeks. Oluwatimi is expected to return to practice Thursday because the backup. I was
kind of worried about him. He looked rough. He looked like he was in bad shape.
The backup did not look good.
Sundell?
Yeah.
No,
when he came in, it looked like Connor Williams again with the snaps. But yeah, let's move on to this week a little bit. We have the Vikings coming into town. I saw a meme that made me laugh a lot. It was somebody's screenshot. It said Vikings at sea.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, somebody was like, yeah, no shit. That's where they belong. Yeah, this is a scary matchup. This team is good, but not good. Like, you look at the team and you don't say, man, I'm scared of this team. But they play together. They play as one unit. Yep. They play a lot of close games. And they're good in them. They're really good in close games. Us as Seattle fans, fans know what it's like to be good in close games, so that can be scary. What else is it? Yeah, their defense, all sorts of different looks. How do you see a path of victory? Because it is kind of hard, especially from last week's showing, going from a highest of highs to lowest of lows. If Geno plays, because I think if Geno doesn't play, there's almost no hope.
I think we're in bad shape.
If Geno plays, which is looking like he's going to, what do you see the keys to victory? Other than, I'm going to say it already, cliche, the offensive line performing well.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to go there. I think the big key is going to be holding down Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Yeah,
and you have the guys to do it. You have the secondary to do it.
You do.
Other than the first half of the Green Bay game, they've shown that they're capable of doing so.
Absolutely. They have a good tight end with TJ Hawkinson. He can go over the middle. He can get vertical on them.
Yeah, and tight ends kill the Seahawks.
Tight ends, man, right over the middle, 15 at a time. I think a path to victory. I'd like to see K9 get going.
Yeah, if he was playing.
Would love for him to get into one of these counters with our tackles pulling. He's just so much more agile than Charbonnet. I really do think he's a big piece of the Seahawks football. I just don't know if our line really helps him that much.
No.
Charbonnet kind of like will just run the play, but K9 wants to break everything.
But you can't have that mentality in the NFL. Always. You can't always have that mentality.
Eventually, you got to put your head down and get a yard.
This is what I told everybody, too, when it comes to our offensive line. Some games, you could have Barry Sanders running behind our offensive line. You got Walter Payton, LaDainian Tomlinson, Emmitt Smith. Name whatever running back you want, and he's going to suck because that offensive line does not do anybody justice. You can't run the football if there's no holes.
No. And that's the one thing I do like about K9 is he can crab. He can crab out. Mm-hmm. He can really fast when he's backpedaling and shuffling. It's just sometimes he gets in trouble doing that. I mean,
a lot of negative
plays with that, but maybe if he can bust a good one. We gotta hold those two receivers down. Aaron Jones is running the ball really well.
Yeah, I saw that.
They got a good old line. They have a really good D line. I believe they're like third ranked rushing defense.
Yeah, I saw overall they're like ninth. So
they're just really all around defense, and that secondary is solid too.
Yeah. I think JSN getting involved in this game is a big thing, and maybe DK. I don't know. JSN's kind of taken the role of he's stepped up big. He's 4 yards away from 1,000 yards.
Yeah, so he should get one catch and break it.
Yeah, unless Sam Howell's starting, and then he probably won't break it. Yeah, he might. So yeah, outlook on the game. I think we have a chance if Geno plays. I really do. I think that wasn't a good showing by us at all. I think they came out flat. Even if the offense comes out flat, I expect the defense to show something more than what they did the first half.
Yeah, let's bring it the first quarter.
And another thing I did before we move on to some Huskies and stuff, I want to say I don't know if Green Bay took it away because of what they saw we did to Arizona.
Yeah.
But there was nothing underneath to start with. It seemed like they just wanted to chuck it deep. And I'm assuming what happened was Green Bay took away what they saw worked for the Seahawks 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But we got to get that check down game working again. Because if we get that check down game working like we did against Arizona, and I know Arizona's not a great football team, but if you can gain 4 yards on first down, you're at 2nd and 6, you can do whatever you want.
The playbook opens.
Yeah.
Playbook opens. I mean, you got to get a couple yards in that first, and it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not telling them to run the ball every first down. I think that would be absolutely retarded because
you can't.
Not only can you not do it, I mean, look at Shane Waldron, run, pass. Look at the guy, God, what was that? Schottenheimer. Run, pass. I think, honestly, people are going to hate me for saying this. The last great offensive coordinator we had was Darrell Bevel. And everybody hates him because of the Super Bowl call.
Which doesn't even seem like it was his call. Things are coming out.
I think it was his call.
Do you?
100%. I think Pete okayed it, but I think
real
it was
quick.
Bevel's
Do
call.
you watch the Marshawn Lynch podcast, the Get Got Pod?
A little bit.
So they actually talk about it. And Marshawn goes into detail about how he should have got in on the first run play, and it's a really good minute clip of little insight from Marshawn.
Is that when they had Gronk and Edelman?
Yep, Gronk and Edelman. A really good podcast. It was really fun watching.
That's one of my. That's another thing I want to ask you. One sec. Let's just end the Seahawks really quick. Yeah. What do you think the final score is? Yeah, that's it. What do you think the final score is?
For us and Vikings?
Yeah.
It could have a chance to go high score, but I don't think it will. I'm going to go, and I'm going to home it. I'm going to say the Hawks win, of course. I'm going to go 23-17 Hawks.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. We're assuming if Geno plays, yes. And I only take the Seahawks winning. I don't know if you've watched my show. So I'm going to do 27-24 Seahawks. Basically the same thing that you just said. That's what
I think it's going to be right around the 20s. Let's get a couple touchdowns, make a field goal or two, and play really, really sound defense.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you, leaving that, I know we could sit here and talk all day about the Seahawks, but I did want to ask you, just to kind of let the people know, what are your favorite YouTube or radio station? What do you like to listen to when it comes to sports? Yeah. Because these guys know I only listen to KJR. Gotcha. And I fucking hate 710.
Gotcha. So I do. I actually listen to 710. Personally, I like Salk. I like Brock. Brock.
Both.
Do you? You hate them both?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You know. I told you last week.
No, I don't really find an issue with them. I also I like Bumpus. Bumpus is really good.
He's all right. Dumb fuck. I listened to him do trivia the other day.
See, I don't listen to that. I only get him for maybe with work the first hour of that 10 to 11 show.
Sometimes I turn off the Furness podcast because I don't want to hear Cougar Love
the
whole time.
Yeah, I don't
and I'll turn it on to the Bump and Stacey show. And they'll have, or if that's even still what it's called.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I turned on there doing trivia and I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm leaving this on. And that guy knew nothing about the history of the Seahawks. And I was like, bitch, you went to Wazoo. You played for the Seahawks for half a season.
Yeah, I mean, I think he got a touchdown for us.
He did. One. I remember
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was in that shitty 08 season when everybody was hurt. But anyways.
Yeah, the 710 podcast, I just enjoyed. I got a quick commute to work, so I put that on for the first 20 minutes of the show. YouTube-wise, I've been really liking this Marshawn Lynch pod.
I really do. With Michael Robinson adds a lot to it too.
No, he's really good.
Okay.
He's fantastic. A ton of just the fun memories those two had in that locker room.
I think that's
incredible.
That's the coolest part about that podcast, I think, is hearing the inside shit of what you, and that's why I liked the KJ Wright one, but now that he's with the Devil, the 49ers, it's I think Lopa took over that. I saw him on Sunday, by the way.
Really?
I said I saw him in the event center and I go, dude, you the fucking man. I gave him knuckles and he goes, He goes, no, you're the man. And I was like, been Bob.
Yeah, Dave. I like Wyman.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, 7-10. It's so PG compared to.
It's very PG
compared to KJR.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Maybe I'll make the switch just for you.
There was a kind of a transition. So I want to take you back to last year about this time, actually, about a little less than a month from now last year. Kayla DeVore left for Alabama. Puck and Jim, which used to be the 10-1 show on KJR. They still do their own thing, but it's on YouTube now because they don't work for the station. Yeah. They were playing every time there was DeBoer news, they played the sound of a hurt Husky, right? And they were just talking shit. And they're Cougars fans. That's what they do. They have nothing.
Now they get a little taste of the medicine.
They have nothing better to do.
Well, they can enjoy this then.
This is leading into what the news today. So I said this on Twitter, which has gotten a lot of traction, 2 likes. I said, sorry, Jim, but when you guys were on the air last year and DeBoer got hired by Alabama and playing the hurt dog sound drop every time we got any news about DeBoer in Alabama, you were laughing. I have empathy for you guys, but that was not cool.
No.
I feel bad for them.
I
feel bad for them, especially because their coach didn't leave for Alabama. Their coach left for the shittiest college football team in the ACC.
Definitely weird. Didn't he just do a thing like a year ago saying he was going to stay for like 10 years?
No, that wasn't a year ago. That was like a couple months ago.
Oh, beautiful. He's really about the loyalty then.
Yeah, let's see. I also commented on YouTube on this video. He did an interview because Mateer transferred yesterday.
Yeah, I heard on the radio coming over here that they might not be able. They don't know who's playing.
They're going to play. But so Mateer left yesterday. Dick did a speech about how he's going to keep on doing his thing and building for the future at Washington State, and then leaves. And I was like, I commented on YouTube. I was like, because I watched it this morning. I go, imagine saying all this shit and then just leaving the next day. And then somebody was like talking shit to me about being a Huskies fan, about how like Ted Bundy went there and stuff. I'm like, okay, I was
no control of that, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't go there. I'm just a fan. They're the home team. Yeah. But yeah, no, college football is fucking crazy right now. A few Huskies entered the portal today. I don't know if you saw that.
Real quick, go ahead. Go back to I believe they have 22 people leaving their team.
Yeah.
Entering the transfer.
Yeah, and 8 starters.
College football is gross, and they need to figure it out.
It's fun. It is so fun. Last year sucked as a Huskies fan. Last year sucked as a Huskies fan.
Is it going to get better?
Yeah.
I believe in jetfish. I do.
I don't know if I like the smell of fish.
Okay.
But I don't hate him. I hate him when he first started. I don't know why. Just because of his jib.
Okay.
No, visors are not for men.
Yeah. Tennis, golf.
So, anyways,
you were saying a couple of UW guys left. Elijah Jackson left, and Kamori House. So Kamori House was the freshman linebacker, and guess where he committed to today? North Carolina. Really?
So Steve's gone. Yeah. So
everyone knew Steve was gone. Yeah. You know what though? I was kind of thinking, why? I understand he's the biggest and best prestigious coach to ever coach the game of football. Most would say Bill.
Yeah, or Saban.
Why?
But Saban coached under Bill.
Yeah, he did. He's on the tree. If you're Steve, why don't you try and make a name for yourself at UW?
I don't know. It's kind of cool. I don't blame him like I blame DeBoer. And I don't blame...
Well, it's a totally different situation.
Well, and I don't blame DeBoer anymore as much as I blame the athletic director that got hired in fucking October. All he did was not renew DeBoer's contract.
Yeah, he just pushed it out and out.
But anyways,
the writing was on the wall, though.
Not, yeah, no, I don't blame Steve Belichick. Imagine if you got to coach with your dad everywhere, and Bill was here.
The coolest thing ever.
Well, and Bill was here all the time too.
Yep.
And I saw a meme the other day, and it wasn't about the Huskies. It was about, I think he was at LSU or something. He's like, imagine the most Bill Belichick thing of all time. Going and all these college coaches letting him in their doors and then just stealing all their shit and then going to coach somewhere else. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm a big meme guy. I fucking love memes.
The memes are good. The memes are good. I've been loving this new TikTok trend I've been seeing on Twitter.
Trend? You don't have TikTok?
Actually, I do have the TikTok.
I don't use it.
Oh, mainly for just funny little clips.
I use YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts is great.
Or Instagram Reels. I don't use TikTok because I'm not Chinese. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking. Yeah, exactly. They're stealing all my data, even though my net worth is negative a lot.
Yeah,
So,
I don't got much for him to take.
yeah,
I'm not too worried.
That's why I've never been worried about identity theft. I'm like, you're not worth shit. So what are you gonna take?
Go ahead.
Be me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't even know where we were at. That was a good laugh right there. Where were we at?
Something about Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, Jetfish, Steve Belichick, coaching with the dad, me, Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's kind of a meme all himself.
Yeah, his girlfriend's pretty hot.
24, right? 24. I mean,
what do you think Steve thinks about that?
I don't think he gives a shit.
Imagine if Steve was a girl, though. Imagine does Bill Belichick have daughters?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Because imagine what his daughters think of that.
His ex-wife, his anything. What's Steve thinking?
That's what I mean.
What are we doing here, Dad? No, I don't. It's a weird thing. And now that he's back in college and now you're with a 24-year-old, it's almost even more weird.
Yeah, lots of memes. Bill Belichick in the UNC dorms.
Oh, I haven't seen any of.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Actually
good. They're good.
And is he going to turn around? Is he going to be able to do what he wants there?
Yeah, I think so. That's the fucking problem.
Is that the plan?
I think so.
ACC.
I'm almost not willing to bet because I would not bet on this, but I bet they win like 8 games. Not this upcoming year,
give him 2,
but the year after. And then I bet Steve takes over year 3. Fuck yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I get it. He's an
another thing is
he gets you to the next level, but
UNC is selling what the Washington Huskies sold every kid last year. You want to go to the NFL, you come here. You want the NFL experience, you come here. Yeah. Pete Carroll's here, Bill Belichick's here all the time. They had John Lynch, the GM of the 49ers, doing a speaking there because his son's on the staff too, as like a lower level
I didn't know that.
staffer. But Pete's kids there, Bill's kids there, John Lynch's kids there. A lot of nepotism going on at UW. And then, Jay Harbaugh's kids at the Seahawks.
Yep.
So it's just, wow. If you had told me a year ago from today that Bill Belichick is going to be the head coach of North Carolina, Kalen DeBoer is missing out on the playoffs because he left Alabama.
And that's great, isn't it, by the way? Sorry to cut you off.
I was rooting against him all year.
Yeah.
The only team I'd root for Alabama against is Oregon. And I fucking hate Oregon.
Correct.
I mean,
anyone over Oregon.
Yeah.
Anyone.
See, I'm hoping. So let's a little bit. Yeah. The Huskies are losing some guys to the transfer portal. A lot of guys from Arizona are leaving the transfer portal now and coming back here. So next time we do the show, we'll dig a little deeper into that. Yep. The CFP. I'm rooting for Boise State.
Are you? Okay. Hard not to.
Unless Oregon makes a run, then I'm rooting for Georgia. I want Oregon to have the toughest possible matchup.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm rooting for anybody but Oregon.
I'm rooting for anyone who plays Oregon.
Yeah, SMU could win it. I'll be like, sure, whatever.
I don't care who wins it as long as it's not Oregon.
Yeah, so Ohio State plays Tennessee, and the winner of that will play Oregon. I think Ohio State's pissed off because they just lost to Michigan.
I would take Ohio. Tennessee's good though.
Yeah,
Tennessee's really good.
But I'm rooting for Ohio.
Yep.
And then Texas plays somebody. Anyways, their next matchup's gonna be. Let me pull up the bracket real quick
because I don't know it off the top of my head.
And I'll show it to you right now. CFL bracket. No, the Toronto Argonauts. I'm like, what? Okay, here it is. So Tennessee, Ohio State. The winner plays Oregon. I'm rooting for Ohio State. Clemson, Texas. Whoever wins that's gonna play Arizona
Clemson.
State. No, I don't. I want Texas.
Do you?
I want the hardest possible fucking matchup.
Oh, okay. Gotcha,
this whole left side, you guys can't see what we're talking about. Maybe if I'm good enough at editing, I'll figure out how to put this on here. But the whole left side of the screen, I'm rooting for the hardest.
Yeah.
So Texas. So Oregon has to go through. Now, just on paper, this is what I think. Oregon has to go through Ohio State, Texas, and then Georgia to win the national championship. Those are 3 fucking tough games.
They're going to be beat down.
Yeah. By the first one, or by the second game they play. So Oregon aside, obviously you want Oregon to lose. Who are you rooting for?
I really wouldn't mind seeing Arizona State make a run and at least win.
Indiana, some team that
Indiana, that's cool too. Is that, Boise, how can you not root for Boise?
That's what I mean. They're in the Mountain West. Yeah.
Small town school. Everyone says, oh, they don't play anyone. They can only play who they get matched up against.
Yeah, and they barely fucking lost to Oregon.
Barely.
They should have beat Oregon.
They should have.
If it wasn't for like a crazy punt return, they should have beat Oregon.
And I still think Ginty should have won the Heisman personally.
See, I don't.
You think Travis Hunter?
At first,
Travis is. He's incredible.
At first, I was on board with Ginty winning the Heisman because, Ginty should win the Heisman with everybody. And then you realize they say snaps matter, not stats. Well, this guy's fucking good at corner and receiver. And I think he's a better corner than he is receiver. And the fact that he still had 100 receptions and over 1,000 yards. How many touchdowns? I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but every time I watch fucking Colorado, he was scoring a touchdown.
Travis Hunter.
So I don't know. It doesn't bug me because
it doesn't bug me either, but
they say snaps over stats. Well, how many people can fucking play all those snaps? Yeah. And for one, do good, but for two, he didn't get hurt.
No,
because that's insane. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that in the NFL.
He says he wants to.
Well, he's not. He's not going to be able to.
He's going cornerback, right?
So here's what I'm wondering.
Dude, Deion's going to pull all the strings in the world for him.
So Travis Hunter is getting coached by Deion Sanders, whose number one thing is get paid, make all the money you can get. Wide receiver makes way more fucking money than cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, go wide out.
I'm wondering if that's what he's thinking, but he's a better corner than he is a receiver.
I don't know. Hunter seems like he's a gamer, though. I think he likes football. I think he wants to play.
Money
is money, of course, and it always. But I really think he likes football. Otherwise, you wouldn't be playing both sides.
Did you know he's the first ever player to transfer from? So he committed to Florida when he was a freshman, right? He transferred to Jackson State, and he was the first ever player to transfer from a five-star player to transfer from a Power 5 program to an HBCU.
Yeah.
That takes some balls too. That takes some confidence in yourself.
Big time.
So
yeah.
And plus, he's kind of goofy. Now that I saw him
he streams on Twitch. He loves playing Madden in college football.
Did you see him when he won the fucking Bolitnikov?
I actually didn't. I didn't really watch any of the awards. I should have. I did see it. Everyone's giving hate on his girlfriend, but
she is like a bitch.
She does, and it's just like, let your man have his day, man. You're gonna get your flowers after.
So he won the Heisman and he fucking whipped. Remember the whip Nene? He fucking went like this.
I didn't catch that.
Or not the Heisman. He won the Bolitnikov, which is the best. He's on the screen. I don't think he thought anybody was watching. He just fucking went like this. Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of a dork. I kind of like him.
I do too.
I like Ginty though because I like the fact that Ginty stayed at a smaller school and he could have went anywhere he wanted to.
Yeah.
Hate Dylan Gabriel because that punk bitch went to Oregon. And then who was the other one? There was 4. Cam Ward. Yeah.
I get you.
Until it mattered in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I like Cam Ward, but no.
Here's why I think college football.
Would he be good on the Hawks, Cam Ward?
No. Well, yeah, he'd be a good backup, I think. Here's why I think I like college football now more than I did before the transfer portal NIL era. Is because of the fact that during the offseason in college football, you used to have to go, okay, we'll wait for June for spring practice or May, whatever, April, whatever spring is. Now you're like, it's like a 24/7 fucking, what are the Huskies doing today? That sucks.
Track.
And it's fun.
It's too much. You know what I mean?
We wouldn't have had Michael Penix if it wasn't for transfer portal and NIL.
That's for sure.
But here's one thing that people kind of forget. DeBoer didn't recruit any of those guys except Michael Penix.
No.
So that was built with, as much as everybody hates him, Jimmy Lake recruiting and Chris Peterson recruiting.
Yeah.
So the question is, can Jed Fish recruit? He's done a fucking phenomenal job, even though he seems like he smokes a pack a day and snorts a line or 2 an hour.
Yep. I believe,
and sells used cars on the side.
The 4-star linebacker from Washington.
Yeah,
committed 2 weeks ago or something.
They've done a pretty good job at handling what's in Washington and the transfer portal. I'm not going to break any of these guys down because I'm not going to act like I've actually watched them play, except Landon Hatch's brother.
Yeah,
we did watch him play. I'm gonna butcher his first name, so I'm not gonna say it. It's like at least that was cool. Go to Oklahoma, beat Bama, come back.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't play the game,
Right.
but he played 8 games for the 2023 Huskies, and that was the Joe Morris Award winner offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything else on college football. John Mateer going to Oklahoma officially, following as offensive coordinator,
and everyone else following out of Washington. They're going to need a big rework.
And you know what? Somebody's going to do it, and then he's going to leave for somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Washington is there's a few schools that are better. You can say Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Michigan. Not even I'd put. See, here's the thing: is Ohio State, yes, but Michigan, I put Washington right up with Michigan. Yeah. Not national championship wise, and I know in the comments everybody's gonna be like, "Fuck this guy," but I know Washington, Michigan actually was a rivalry before in the '90s. It was a rivalry, so I don't know. I put maybe just a grade below Michigan, but there's not many jobs that you could take that are better than Washington, and that's what's great about being a Huskies fan. But Washington State, I mean, they're a group of 5 team now, and even though it's going to be the Pac-12 still, it's not the Pac-12, right? It's the fucking Mountain West,
pretty much.
Plus, it's Mountain West plus.
Yeah.
So, somebody's going to come, build them up, and then leave, and it sucks. And I actually feel bad for Cougars fans right now, even though they for damn sure didn't feel bad for us last year.
It's kind of hard not to after 6 coaches leave, 22 players, and they don't know if they're going to fill their bowl team roster. It's hard not to feel bad.
Yeah. I guess lastly, I'm sorry, I know we got to run here.
Oh, you're good.
Walker is big into gambling. He's what you would call a degenerate.
Yeah, I would call myself that. Yes.
What are some picks you like this week? NFL picks.
These are
unless you have college.
These are not picks. For sure. By the way,
they're for sure. So guess what? If you lose all your money, you can sue Walker Garland for giving you these tips.
No, you cannot. I'm going to start off with Pittsburgh and the Ravens. Ravens, you're taking Ravens?
Money line.
Ravens at home money line. I like it. No TJ Watt, possibly. No TJ Watt. Lamar can maybe move around, get a little more, maybe.
So they lost last time to the Ravens, right? Or the Ravens lost time to the Steelers. Yep. I fucked myself by betting against the Steelers this year. I've showed you like parlays and shit that I made. Yep. But the Ravens are such a good fucking team. And it seems like no matter who plays for the Ravens, they're always good.
Always good. And Lamar's on another MVP run here. I mean, everyone's got Josh Allen, but
it's Josh Allen.
It's Josh Allen. I mean, it's hard not to see what Lamar does.
Well, that's the thing is he makes it so casual now. I don't know if you saw. So I watched. Yeah, we played Sunday night last week. I was like, why was I watching football at home when the Seahawks played at home? But I watched Lamar run for like 20 yards while fucking holding up his pants. Did you see that highlight?
Yeah, and he makes a spin move off of it.
Yeah. And it looked like he was just walking, and he was faster than anybody else.
No, he's insane. He's probably the most fun player to watch in the NFL.
Oh, for sure. If you don't hate the Ravens, like if I was a Steelers fan, I'd be like, oh, fuck Lamar. When he plays the Seahawks, I'm like, fuck Lamar, because when he came here in 2018 or 19, I don't remember. It was one of the two. I think it was 2019. He fucking kills. Because I remember he was a rookie in 2018, right? And he played like half the season.
Yep.
And I didn't ever watch the Ravens that much. I'm like, bro, he can't be that fast. And then he played the Seahawks, and I was like, dude, this guy is something else. So you got the Ravens money line. That's one of your bets.
Ravens money line and maybe a Lamar Jackson over 250 passing with that TJ Watt missing.
Yeah.
And then I'll move down. I like Tampa Bay over Dallas. It's in Dallas. I think Baker's a freaking player, man. It's hard not to love Baker. Are you a Baker fan?
See, the thing is, I used to be huge. So like the Bears are my second team now.
Gotcha.
The Browns used to be my second team. Until everybody started hopping on their dick when Odell came there.
Yeah.
And I loved Baker when he was a rookie, but then everybody hopped on the bandwagon, and I didn't. But I've always liked Baker, except for the commercials are a little much for me. But he's not on them anymore.
No, he got off of them. I think Baker's playing lights out. I would take Tampa Bay -4.5 in the spread. I don't think the Cowboys can keep up with them whatsoever.
Who's I know it's not everything, and this is the thing I hate about football fans, me included. I go, who's playing quarterback for the Cowboys?
Cooper Rush?
Is that who it is?
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
Okay, I didn't know if it was him or Lance at this point. I don't think Trey Lance played much.
I don't think Trey Lance might ever play. And then maybe one more. I think the Panthers are on the up. Bryce Young looks better.
I didn't like that one. Whoever they're playing, I did my picks last night, and I didn't like.
Panthers Cardinals.
Nah, I think the Cardinals smoke them, dude.
So I think they could smoke them. I think there's a lot of player props you could hit. Chuba Hubbard. They have all their backup running backs are all hurt right now.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, I mean it's Chuba show. James Conner, Trey McBride. Trey McBride still doesn't have a touchdown on the year, by the way, and he records 7 to 8 receptions.
Yeah, he makes a lot of yards.
He makes a lot of yards, a lot of receptions.
Thielen might be on your list of props too. I don't know if he's on there.
I would take Thielen like 5.5 receptions.
They've been feeding Thielen since he's came back off IR.
Those rookies love leaning on an old veteran,
white guy
that can a white guy, yeah,
super gritty, super gritty,
slow, can break somebody out and just sit.
First one in the gym.
Green Bay and New Orleans. Take Green Bay, whatever you want.
What's the spread?
I have no idea. I want to say it was like 8.5 when I looked when it opened.
8.5 is a lot of fucking points.
Broken right now. I don't think they have a chance in hell.
Yeah, I like Kamara. I do.
Oh, Kamara is incredible, but that's all they have.
Yeah,
Marcus Valdez-Scantling can maybe catch a couple, but they're in bad shape.
He dropped a ball last week when I saw. Let me check out the games really quick and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah,
because I want to say some. I'm just gonna make up some props that I like really quick.
One more too. AJ Brown and the Eagles. Possibly you could hit them with a touchdown. Are they back? Are they beefing?
They're back.
You don't.
They're
know.
back.
You don't know.
They're back because they're beefing. I think they're trying to show everybody. I don't know if you remember back
Jalen Hurts come out with that shiny necklace.
We were pretty young when T.O. played for the Eagles.
Yeah,
but
I don't even. Yeah, if you don't even remember watching him play for the Eagles, but
him and Donovan McNabb, like everybody was like, "Oh, they're talking shit to each other," and they were.
Yeah,
they fucking came out and high fived each other, and then scored that game.
No shit.
Yeah, and it was like I said for the Eagles.
That's funny.
How about Penix this week? Michael Penix making his first start. What do you think about that? It's against the Giants, so that's
Drew Lock, by the way, getting the start. Drew Lock getting the start. So
we should have kept Drew Lock, and I hated Drew Lock. I thought
really you weren't a big Drew Lock guy.
I am as a backup quarterback.
I think he's a solid backup. So I think Penix. See, I've been hearing a lot of wondering, like if Penix was that good, why wasn't he starting? But Kirk Cousins started the year off pretty good.
Well, because they paid him a lot of fucking money. That's kind of,
but like, but still, I mean, Kirk was playing good, but I believe he has like 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions in his last 5 games.
I heard 5. That was his first touchdown in 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's really bad. Let's put Penix in and see if that lefty can sling it. Like
I think that's one thing everybody was like. I think they don't want to start him. I think they're trying to keep the Mahomes thing, and or Rodgers even sit him for a couple of years.
Yeah,
but at this point,
I think he's ready to go, man.
I think he was ready to go when he got drafted.
Yeah.
He has the quickest release that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, honestly, because he got pressured last year. The offensive line for the Huskies was awesome.
Yeah,
but
incredible.
But don't get me wrong, that game against Texas, especially, and the first game against Oregon. He had pressure in his face, but he wasn't getting sacked because he has such a weird release of the ball to where it's like he almost just flicks his wrist.
It is. It's a flick of the wrist and the ball just zips out.
Exactly.
Perfect spiral every time. I mean, dude, we watched them all.
I was pissed the Hawks
didn't
draft him. I remember watching the draft and hearing.
I didn't think he was going to go 8.
I didn't either. So Rome went 9. I thought Rome was going ahead of Penix, but when I heard Rappaport or Schefter, one of those dipshits, he goes, I'm hearing the Falcons are calling Michael Penix. And I was like, you got me fucking shitting me. Because I was worried about the Raiders. That's the team that I thought was going to take him. But no quarterback was even available by the time they got to the Raiders.
If the Raiders had Bo Nix or Penix available, that's who they were going to take.
And I thought we were going to draft, or I thought we were going to trade right up above the Raiders and take Michael Penix because of Ryan Grubb, because of the connection, and let him sit behind Geno for a year. Obviously, I like Geno. I'm not a person that's against Geno at all. I think he's awesome, but I think Penix is going to be a really good player in the NFL. But then again,
so too.
I think Caleb is too. Still, I think Caleb's still
good too. I think people were talking about his body language after the game. He's young. Let him be, man. I think he's special. I see him at USC run all over the place.
Well, look at him still. They laugh at him because he runs all over the place now. And so there was this play that we're laughing that he missed this crazy throw. Yeah. Right? He made this dumb throw. He should have been sacked 5 times before he was even able to make that throw. And he's another one of those. He's running, and you're like, man, he's not running very fast, but he is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, anything else you want to get off your chest before the end of the show, or?
No, I don't think so. I think we hit most of them. I'm back to Penix real quick. I'm excited for Sunday. Too. Like, I'm a red zone guy. I have red zone going all day. I will have the Atlanta game on and watching Michael Penix.
Yeah, the Hawks, they play at 10, right? Let's see.
What, the Hawks?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we're 105, right?
Always. So
I don't know what times they're.
Man, if they're at 1, they're going to piss me. At 10 a.m. So
beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful.
I'm a Sunday ticket guy, so I fucking hate red zone. Gotcha. I told you.
I think Scott Hansen's the best man on red zone.
I heard there was some beef about him not doing 7 hours commercial-free football or something. I don't know.
I'm sure he does, man.
So anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Like I said, hopefully a future guest on the show and hopefully a mainstay because I think we had a lot of fun talking.
I had a blast for the first time ever coming on a podcast. I mean, I may have butchered quite a few things.
No, you did a fucking good job.
I enjoyed all of this and hopefully you'll have me back on.
Hell yeah. Let's do it again. All right. We will see everybody in a couple weeks. Have a good one and go Hawks.
Rock on.